Hey, Celeste do Buckaroos. How the heck are you? I am Don the Whiskey Whisperer. I apologize for running a tad late. I always feel like I'm almost there, and then something happens that causes me to run a little bit later. But anyways, I digress. How the heck are you? As I double check something real fast here. So I decided to make two cocktails, and I did them almost the same. I had an idea to see how it works. So we had fresh mint and fresh basil in the garden. My wife picked some that I took to work today, but I had some at home as well. So I'm going to start with the mint because I feel like it's a softer flavor than the basil. But everything is the same in both cocktails except the mint and the basil, right? So this cocktail is using the Rocktown cask, single barrel Arkansas bourbon whiskey at 120 proof. I got 2 ounces of that, and I have 1 ounce of their ginger liqueur at 56 proof. Their craft cordials, natural natural ginger flavored, it says. So I've got that in there. And then some fresh lemon, and then the mint. And then my second cocktail is exactly the same, but I've swapped out the mint for the basil. So I've got two cocktails that are really close together, one using mint, one using basil, both using the same bourbon and the same liqueur with no other sweetener. Because I was deciding whether to go kind of more of a Manhattan or an old fashioned. And I decided not to do either. I didn't want to. Oh gosh, I mean, it's so good. I decided that I didn't want to add any additional sweetener, but because I'm using the core, I didn't want to add anything else. I wanted to keep it. I wanted to keep the cocktail very simple. So anyway, sláinte, and here we go. Oh gosh, that is nice. Really like that ginger liqueur. I bought their elderflower liqueur to see how it compared to that other elderflower liqueur that everybody knows, and I think they're about the same. But I'm just not a fan of the product. But I bought it so I had something at home I can work with to formulate the cocktails. Gosh, that's nice. That's really nice. Somebody else may want to add a simple here. I don't. I really don't. But I'm just telling you, I'm kind of, I mean, I've got that whiskey gene. Right? I don't really get that burn like other folks do. I know if I were to add any other sweetener, it'd be too sweet for me personally, but somebody else might. And I also understand that some might want to serve a cocktail like this more like an old fashioned and serve it with a big cube. I'm not an ice guy. I really like a straight up cocktail served in a coupe. So again, that's me. I'm not telling you that's how you have to do it. But again, I want to come up with a couple cocktails. I want to keep them similar. Again, so the only change here is the basil and the lemon. The whiskey's the same. The liqueur's the same. The only difference, and even the garnish is the same, other than the mint and the basil. So anyway, the mint from our garden as is the basil. So anyway, sláinte. Oh, mercy. I am off tomorrow, and sometimes I do like to come home. If I'm going to do a video, I typically like to come home and directly do the video. But sometimes I'm really hungry, so we eat first. But today wasn't really an issue. So we're going to come home, do the video, and we got bagels. I got bagels, man. So we're gonna keep our late night dinner simple with just a bagel, some cream cheese, some ham, and an egg. Oh gosh, that is a nice cocktail. If you want more of a mint presence, you can muddle the mint, or you can add a mint simple. I didn't add a mint simple, nor did I muddle the mint because I didn't want a heavy mint presence. I just kind of wanted to know it was there. So I added some in the shaker, but I didn't shake the cocktail. I just stirred it, got it really cold, and then strained it into the glass. But again, if you want that heavier mint presence, you could have, I mean, you can muddle it if you like, or you can even shake it. It's really up to you. I chose not to. I didn't think it needed it. And partly that was because I wanted to see, I mostly wanted to showcase the whiskey and the ginger liqueur, right? I wanted to see what those two did. I wanted to add the mint, but I didn't want to really change what was going on between those two, which is why the only change I made in the two cocktails was the mint and the basil, because I really wanted to see how the whiskey and that ginger melded together for the most part. And I will tell you, for this particular cocktail, anyway, it really works. I love the mint with that whiskey. And that ginger liqueur is just wow, man. It's as good, and without mentioning the name of the big commercial ginger liqueur product that you know, this stuff from Rocktown is certainly just as good, if not better. But I'll finish this cocktail. I'll have the next one, and I'll take a breather. I don't know if I'll do another cocktail this evening or not cocktail, another video this evening or not, but we'll relax. I'll make the bagel. I'll take a break. It was a good day at work today. Both Monday and Tuesday were very nice. I like Mondays because it's Mug Club Monday, so usually the Mug Club faithful comes out. I like Tuesdays because we do $2 off on cocktails on Tuesday, so my cocktail faithful comes out, so that's nice too. And every once in a while, we get some new folks, so that's always nice as well. Oh, where's the cocktail? So, yeah, go ahead. My wife wanted to make sure she couldn't be seen. I thought I left enough room where she could slide through, but I wanted to lift up my arm just in case. And I mean, she got the nobody saw. We didn't see nothing. I didn't see your ass or anything. Anyway, oh mercy. My wife, very proper, uh, very quiet, and then she married me. I'm just saying, if we were both to fill out an app for a dating site, in fact, we ought to do that just out of curiosity. In all honesty, uh, we got to fill out an app for a dating site because I'm really relatively certain that we would not be matched. In fact, I'd be willing to put money on it. So it would be an interesting experience. Okay, you wouldn't match us, but we've been married 31 years. I've always questioned the legitimacy. I don't know if that's the right word. Uh, Especially the one I'm not even mentioning the name because I think it's a crock. But they used to say, "Well, we match you on this, that, a whole bunch of this, and next year." And I always thought I would never want to be with somebody just like me because they take your interests and everything else, and they match you somebody with the same interests. And I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be with somebody with exactly the same interests. And I'll tell you why. Is that would be boring as hell. I think ultimately you can only stay with somebody that has the same core belief system. And I wouldn't match well with a bigot or a Trump nutter. But I don't think you have to have every hobby the same, and I think that works out for the best you don't have exactly the same interests. My wife and I have complete opposite interests, but because of that, we've been able to do things that took us both out of our comfort zones and learn something else. And I think it's also because of that we're not that couple that has to be joined at the hip 24. So I get some people like that kind of thing. I'm just not one of those people, and neither is my wife. I feel like apps like that kind of breed codependency, right? You want people exactly the same. I said, well, wait a minute. That seems very codependent to me. But anyways, I know it has worked for some folks, and that's wonderful. I think some of those algorithms are better than others, but I think some of those algorithms miss something. My wife and I came upon each other quite by accident, so there was no reason why we should have crossed paths, but somehow we did. But I will admit it is a different world out there, and I've talked to several folks. I mean, I wouldn't want to be dating in today's climate. It's just a whole different animal than it was back then. I was talking with some friends of mine. We're talking to their daughter about dating apps. And said they don't really want to take part in those dating apps because men expect to get laid on the second date. And I said, "Wow, I never had that kind of expectation. If I knew that was a possibility, I might have tried to get friendlier. I never, I never had that kind of expectation when I was dating somebody. It's a different ball game back then, I guess. But, but then again, I think I expected things to be better than they are, right? Seems the level of misogyny is higher now than it even was back in the 80s when I was dating. And I think we all expected that to get better, than that level of misogyny and sexism would get better over the years. But it seems like, especially because it's not just older folks. I mean, it's really in millennials and generations younger than that, is that there seems to be this bizarre expectation that women should do this. Oh, wait a minute. I thought we were getting towards being equal, and now it seems to be going the other direction. If I was raising a daughter these days, I mean, I would tell them not to date anybody. Men are assholes. Stay away from all of us. Any of these misogynist assholes trying to say this to you, run. Run for your life. They tell you to make them a sandwich, you get the hell out of there. Because if they're not bright enough to make their own sandwich, you don't want anything to do with that. I can't figure that make your sandwich part. That's I can't make that make sense. A woman's place is in the kitchen. What? Yeah, yeah, that's funny. My wife says, "You make my." Yes, I do. And then she provides other services, so it works out in the end. Everybody gets what they want. I'm just saying. I would never expect. Oh, okay. I'll be honest. I was making a joke there, but I'll be honest. I like to cook. I enjoy cooking. My dad was a chef, and I learned some techniques from him. But I also learned things from other folks and other things over the years. Um, so you can look at what I do and say, I'd love to cook uh, for my family. I'm a wonderful human being. But you can also look at it from another direction, is that I'm a control freak and I will only eat the food that I prepare. There's just a couple ways to look at it. I will eat food that my wife makes. I will even eat food that my daughter makes, but I don't like stranger food. And I'm enjoying eating out less and less. So yes, I am a wonderful human being. We've we've covered that, but yeah, a lot of that is, I mean, in sharing some secrets about myself is that yeah, I mean, I want food prepared a very specific way, but I do enjoy cooking. Wife says I'm getting better. I really have been making an effort to eat other folks' cooking. Yeah, it was, and that's all part of. I have Tourette's syndrome. Some people get upset when I leave out the syndrome part, so put that in. Tourette's what? I have Tourette's syndrome, you jackass. Anyway, I have Tourette's syndrome. But part of that is OCD, and there's other components that fall in there that kind of vary per individual. And so I've always been very picky. And oh, no, let me take that back. I'm not very picky about what I eat because I like to eat a variety of foods, but I've always been very picky about where I eat it from and how it's prepared. Let me say that. So, anyways, I got cocktail number two coming. I'll be right back. No, you're good. I appreciate that comment there. 'Cause you gotta make it look. So once again, this is the exact same cocktail, the same whiskey, the same ginger liqueur. The only thing I did different here was the basil. So the other one was with the mint. This one I've used our garden basil. So kind of want to see. And which one you like better is really going to depend on if you like mint or basil better. In all honesty, but I was looking at the ingredients that I have on hand, and I was trying to say, huh, what works better with this, that, huh? And so, oh, the ginger. I got the ginger because I didn't want to. I was looking at the simples that I have on hand. So I don't really want to make it sweeter. So, oh, the whiskey, Rocktown whiskey, the Rocktown ginger. Oh, I did forget to tell you something that I added in here though. I did use lemon bitters in both cocktails. So, but again, everything is the same except one has mint, one has basil. But I did use the lemon bitters because I wanted to accentuate the lemon. Oh, I like that too. And I'll be honest with you, I can't tell you which one because I thought I would have a favorite in all honesty. But I don't. I like both for different reasons. Sometimes mint hits the spot, sometimes basil hits the spot. I think both are summer worthy. Oh, that is really delicious. That's good. Yeah. Okay, I might be slightly leaning toward basil at this moment in time. Uh, but I will tell you, as you can see, this basil was good and fresh before I put it in this cocktail. And now it is soaked up. That the basil soaks up the liquor faster. I'm saying certain it will. The liquor is making my basil. That wasn't a euphemism. Anyway, fuck it. I digress. Gosh, that's nice though. I do like that basil. And what's this was like 30, I don't know. Let's see, how old am I? It's about 35 years ago. I was talking with somebody at a drinking establishment. And we were comparing spaghetti sauce recipes. He was telling me his recipe. I said, well, that sounds interesting, but I don't use sugar and I like to add basil. He says, oh no, I don't use basil. That's too Italian for me. I said, what do you think you're making? You're making spaghetti sauce. Uh, spaghetti sauce is Italian. I'm not sure how basil is to it. Anyways, I digress. We didn't stay friends a long time. That's kind of been the course of my life, though, I guess. I have a very small handful of lifelong friends, very small, minuscule. And some might view that as a bad thing, but I don't, because I think if you have the exact same friends you had in high school, you haven't grown any, and that's kind of my thing. Is that, or my issue maybe, is that I hear people don't change after high school. No, everybody should change from high school. If you're the exact same person you were at 18, then you missed out on life altogether. You chose not to learn anything. Everybody should change from high school. The people I am close with now are not the same people they were in high school. If you're still comfortable with everybody that was in high school, damn, I feel sorry for you that you peaked at 18. And I think that's a lot of the issue, right? There are those that peaked at 18, that peaked at high school, so they want to remain exactly the same. And they get confused that you don't. And that's why you end up losing those folks as friends over the years. I had a few friends like that, and I kind of lamented it for a period of time until I started to realize, well, why am I no longer friends with those folks? And then I look back, oh, I don't have anything in common with them anymore. They still believe this. They're still misogynists. They're still this. They're still that. I know I have nothing in common with these people. Why would I want to be friends with them now? Other than I had a kinship with them way back when. And I think that's what keeps a lot of us pigeonholed, right? That's what keeps a lot of us in a box, is that we think, well, we should be friends with these people till the day we die, and you don't need to. We all should be growing. We should never be the same people we were in high school. If you're 60 years old right now and you're exactly the same person you were at 18, damn, I feel extremely sorry for you because you missed out on life altogether. Anyways, I digress. I won't insult small-minded people anymore tonight. I will keep insulting them, but no more this evening. We're gonna wrap this up. I do like what I did here, using the Rocktown whiskey with the Rocktown ginger. The whiskey and the ginger are nice. The lemon really works, and it kind of depends on what flavor profile you're going for, right? You want to go mint or basil. I wouldn't do mint and basil because that's a, then you might have some things going on. But lemon and mint work, and lemon and basil work. That's why I had the idea. Let's do everything the same, but change the herb, change the garnish, and that's kind of what I did here. And I like both cocktails for different reasons. So there you go. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom, all around good guy. Sláinte. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. It is late. It's a Tuesday. Most of you got to work tomorrow. I'm off, but I'm really loving this phase of my life. I got to tell you. For the longest time, I had to get up early in the morning and work for people that really didn't give a rat's ass about shit. I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore. I'm glad I'm finally working for folks that appreciate who you are, what you bring to the table. I'm gonna, walk it back, bring it back to Whiskey Whisperer, Bubba, all around good guy, Sláinte. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate that. Ah, damn, that's good. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I can't tell you which one I like better. I like the mint. The mint's nice and refreshing, but that basil, but boy, that basil works in about the same direction. So anyway, lunch.